conversation between the two of us.
Okay. Does it get like?
What was that?
Does it get like your thighs or no?
No, it'll be just kind of right, no, just about our knees.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we're actually, that program I was telling you about is the women's movement. It's actually, maybe it gets sponsored by a couple banks in Southern California. But well, that's why I want to do one, that if you can use it for that, it can be used for that, if not. Is it the Comfort Inn and Suites or just Comfort Inn?
Comfort Inn and Suites. Here you go.
The way of the plane, just leaving.
Yeah. It's so moist.
Yes.
Cool, yes.
Good.
Well, humid.
Yeah, like you can see on the window. It has like the moisture.
We just turned the air off and we just shut all windows, so it's going to
Yeah.
probably get worse.
It's okay.
Okay. As you guys are ready.
Hello and welcome to
I
today's.
think that's your camera.
I'm just going to do the.
Got it. Okay.
Hello and welcome to today's program. We're here at the beautiful Comfort Inn and Suites located in the town of Murrieta, California. I'm here with Vivian2, who is the current president of Linens in Love. Welcome, Vivian.
Hi, thank you.
Can you tell me a little bit about your organization and what it is you're doing, especially today?
Yes, so my organization is called Linens in Love. And so we are a 501c3 nonprofit organization dedicated to donating linens such as blankets, towels, sheets, and pillowcases to various shelters across our country, such as we've donated to women's shelters, animal shelters, homeless shelters, teen outreach centers, the list goes on. And so basically how we get these linens donations is we connect with hotels who are about to discard these linens because they don't need.
Yeah, let's start again.
Okay, yeah.
You're trying to get it really fast. So just you can
Okay.
slow down and be a little more
Okay.
relaxed. So let me just ask the question again. Vivian, can you tell me a little bit about your program and what it does?
Yeah, so my organization is called Linens in Love. And so Linens in Love is a 501c3 nonprofit organization dedicated to donating linens such as towels, blankets, sheets, pillowcases, and we donate these to shelters near our community, such as animal shelters, homeless shelters, teen outreach centers, women's homes, and so much more.
Can you tell me today how many organizations have you donated to, or how many linens have you donated?
Yeah, so as we wrap up this decade, we've actually donated 15,000 linens to date, and we're looking to actually reach our goal of 100,000 linens to donate across the nation with, hopefully with our implementation of our web application.
Well, one of the questions I had is how old are you, and how did you become president of this organization?
Yeah, so I'm currently 17 years old, and I co-founded this organization with my older sister May in 2014. And so first it was just a simple visit to the animal shelter to donate a little pile of linens. I would say it was around 15 to 20 pieces of linens, articles of linens. And after really encountering these animals and bonding with them one-on-one, we decided that this should definitely be a long-term project and not just a one-time donation. And so that's how Linens in Love came to be.
And what are the types of, how are you getting the linens? That's my question.
Yeah.
Donating 15,000 linens, I'm assuming those are towels, bedding, that type of stuff. Where do you get those linens?
So Linens in Love is connected with many hotels across the nation, but we're mainly centered in Southern California. And so in Southern California, we are partnered with numerous hotels who have learned about our mission and want to support us. So we do have a constant supply of linens donations such as we are partnered with the Courtyard by Marriott, Comforted Inn Suites, and Extended Stay, and Residence Inn, and a few other places.
So you're based in Southern California, but you have visions of going national.
Yes.
So if there's any hotel or hotel owners across the country that view this program, what would be your message to them on how they can participate in your organization?
So we are implementing a web application that will be integrated directly into our website, which is linensandlove.org. And so a hotel can go directly onto our website and enter in their credentials and what linens they would be able to donate. And so then when a shelter would go on our website, they would be able to see like, oh, there's a hotel near us. And so a volunteer would be able to essentially be the bridge between the hotel and the shelter. And so they would be able to pick up the linens from the hotel and then drive directly to the shelter and drop it off.
Now, let me ask you, how can other kids your age, young women, young men, become a part of your organization, and how will you assist them in doing what you're doing here in Southern California?
Yeah, so right now in Southern California, we have our Southern California chapter, and it consists of 4 schools right now, and they have a chapter president. And so what I do is I lead the leaders. So these leaders, they're taught by me, and then they are able to kind of talk with their officers and their board members, and they kind of project whatever I teach them, and then they're able to, wait, how do you do that one?
Yeah, sure can. So how can other schools across the country or other young people like yourselves, young women and young men, become a part of your organization? How do they set up a chapter, or how do they get it started? Because it seems like it could be replicated relatively easy, but yet you still need to have the infrastructure.
Yeah, so right now in the Southern California chapter, it consists of 4 high schools. And so these high schools actually reached out to me, they emailed me, and they were asking how to get involved with Linens and Love. And so I suggested that they go ahead and start their own chapter, because with a new chapter, it really opens up the horizons of Linens and Love more to than just one person, but instead their whole community and their entire school. So if anyone is interested in joining Linens and Love, I highly recommend that they visit our website and kind of browse around. And if you're interested, you can go on the Contact Us page, and we will definitely respond to your email.
Well, earlier today we were watching a group of high school students package up gift packages, not necessarily linens. What are you doing that is special today?
So today we are actually packaging holiday hygiene kits for, am I allowed to say the organization?
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
So don't say it. Okay. So today we are actually packaging holiday hygiene kits for an organization called Swag. And so recently Swag was actually broken into, and all of their donations and their hygiene kits were actually stolen. And so what we are doing today is we are packaging 250 hygiene kits for the Swag organization, which actually helps people who aren't fortunate enough to be able to have a roof above their heads at night. And so we're providing these hygiene kits for them to have something nice for the holiday season.
So I understand where you can get the blankets and the linens to support animal shelters, homeless shelters, veteran shelters. Where did you get the funds for these kits? I mean, are you also getting cash donations from organizations? And how are you doing that?
So over the summer, we actually partnered with the Comforted Inn Suites Marietta, which is actually where we're hosting our leadership summit. And so with this partnership, we applied for a grant together, Linens and Love and the Comforted Inn Suites Marietta, with Choice Hotels International, and we were able to win the $5,000 grant with the Your Choice of Your Community grant, which allows us to plan some sort of community initiative. And so the community initiative that we chose was to host a winter leadership summit. And so with this $5,000 grant, we were able to organize this event in partnership with the Comforted Inn Suites in Marietta, which was able to provide us with a meeting room. Actually, the hygiene kits, they would also purchase those for us to pack, and the rooming accommodations.
So it's hard to believe that you're 17 and you've got such an ambitious nonprofit organization. Where do you see your organization going in the next several years?
So in the next 2 years, I'm actually heading off to college, but I do not want Linens in Love to just stop there. I want to keep going. And so with the implementation of our web application, I'm hoping that Linens in Love will actually be able to expand across the nation, across all the United States, so that we can expand beyond Southern California. And that if there are people who do want to support Linens in Love, but may not be able to have the full-time commitment, even just a simple donation where they go to the hotel, pick up the linens, and then drop it off at the shelter, that still makes a huge impact on our community. So I'm hoping that even after I go to college, Linens in Love is still around.
Well, let me ask you, as a young woman, as an entrepreneur, running this organization, did you have any mentors? Was there someone that helped guide you? I mean, this takes some serious leadership. Where did you get your motivation, or where did you get your mentoring from to do this?
Yeah, so for every chapter of Linens in Love, we have they're kind of like a teacher advisor. And so basically what they do is if you ever hit a wall, or if you need some ideas, they're here to support you. So I've actually been working with my teacher advisor, Mrs. Connor, for the past, I believe, 3 years now. And so she's been a huge support, and she's always there to give us ideas and support if we ever need help.
Now, our program is viewed by thousands of individuals and business owners across the country, many who are women-owned businesses. What would you like to ask women-owned businesses throughout the country to help you support? What can those women leaders do to help maybe other women like yourself start this organization or start chapters in it and help those young women in their leadership roles? So what would be your ask of other women leaders throughout the country? Okay, so what we do is, it's important that women step up and do these organizations. If there's women leaders across the country, we'd love you to be mentors in our nonprofit.
So it's kind of like the main message.
Yeah, because you want support.
Yeah, I do.
And women love to help other women, so the goal is, I would love to have women leaders across the country help us set up chapters, help mentor our chapter leaders, and continue to grow our organization, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Do I just go?
Yeah.
Okay. So, as a woman, I think that it's super important that us women we unite together and support one another. So I think that more than anything, I think the support as a female advisor would be super important and impactful with Linens in Love. So I think if you're a woman, you're always available. We're always welcome. Wait, sorry, can I redo that?
Not a problem.
I don't know how to say this.
So you were doing great. So, I would love women to reach out to me right now. If you're a woman business owner anywhere in the country,
Yeah.
I'd love you to reach out to me and help me help other young women support our organization.
Okay. Go.
Yeah.
So I think that the most impactful way that females can help Linens in Love is actually to serve as a mentor or as an advisor of Linens in Love, and maybe even start your own chapter. Because there actually are no limits to starting a chapter. You don't have to be in high school. You don't have to be a teenager. You can be an adult, and we always welcome women to support Linens in Love and propel our mission.
Perfect. Anything I'm missing? So is there anything you haven't talked about that you want to talk about? Because I know you were saying that there are some new initiatives or new things you were doing. One is the website.
I forgot when we last met.
It was several months ago, but I think you were talking about the launch of your website.
Did I talk about international?
Yeah.
Okay.
So let me formulate the question. So I understand that you donate these linens to animal shelters, to homeless shelters, to veteran shelters here in Southern California. Do you have any goals, or have you done anything internationally with your organization?
Yeah, so actually over the summer of 2019, so this past summer, we had a okay, sorry. So over the past summer of 2019, we communicated with the Choice Hotels Owners Council, and we decided that we would do a international delivery to Mexico, so specifically Los Cabos. So we donated to Casa Hogar. They're a children's orphanage dedicated to kind of helping them jumpstart their career and provide resources for them to find like what job is suitable for themselves. And so we gave them a total of 500 minutes, and we raised $1,100 for the organization in partnership with Choice Hotels Owners Council. And this was actually our first international delivery, and it is a huge success with the support of all the members on the Choice Hotels Owners Council.
Let me ask you as a follow-up question, how important has organizations like Choice Hotels been to supporting your organization and helping you grow it? What would you say to or tell me about Choice Hotels?
So I think Linens in Love at its core is actually, I think the hotels are actually one of the most important aspects of Linens in Love, because they provide us with these linens donations that actually come at no cost, because they were supposed to actually discard these linens donations, but instead we step in and we ask them if we're able to take their linens donations to a shelter in need. So they're actually very important in the mission of Linens in Love, and they've actually supported us from day one.
What would you say to thank them? If you were to talk to the Choice Hotel owners right now, what would you say to them?
I would say thank you for your support, and Linens in Love could not be as far as we are today without your support, your linens donations, and your constant mentorship since 2014.
And one other question, because you just talked about that you're getting these linens that would normally go into landfills. So this is not only helping the individuals, the animals, and the people in the homeless shelters and the orphans, it's also helping the environment. Can you tell me a little bit about how it's improving the environment?
Yeah, so Linens in Love also does have an environmental aspect. So usually these linens would actually be discarded if we don't step in. And so this really accumulates a concerningly high amount of waste in the landfills. And so with Linens in Love, we actually are reducing our landfills. And with Linens in Love, we are, wait, that's pretty much it. Yeah, I kind of repetitive.
Yeah, but that's it. So how is it impacting the environment? So I'm just going to ask the question. So how is Linens in Love actually impacting the environment, making sure that these things do not go into landfills? Because blankets and sheets, seems like it would take up a lot of space.
Yeah, so not only with Linens in Love is there a community service aspect, there's also a environmental aspect. So with the environmental aspect, we are looking at reducing landfills in our communities, because usually in these hotels, they have to... We're sorry. No, sorry. Okay. So with Linens in Love, there's not only a community service aspect, but there's also an environmental aspect. So the environmental aspect includes reducing our landfills in our local communities, because usually with these hotels, after they're no longer able to use these linens, they have to discard these linens in our landfills. So this actually accumulates a concerningly high amount of waste in our landfills. But with Linens in Love, we are striving to reduce our landfills by stepping in and asking for these linens donations to not only reduce our landfills, but also make an impact on our community.
One final question, which I think is one of the more important questions, is if I'm a school, a student, a mentor, a female-owned business, or a hotel, how do we reach out, or how do they reach out to you to become a part of Linens in Love?
Okay, that's a very good question. So you can actually go on our website, which is www.linens, the letter N, love.org. So www.linenslove.org. And so then from there, you can kind of learn more about what we've been up to lately, all of our deliveries since 2014. And if you're interested, go on the Contact Us page, and you'll be able to fill out a brief form, and we'll definitely get in touch with you.
Well, Vivian, I am very impressed that a young woman your age is leading such a powerful organization, and that you're doing so much good in your community. Thank you for talking with me today. I wish you all the luck.
Thank you.
This has been another episode of Women in Business. That's right. This has been another episode of Today's Woman. Thank you for watching. Okay. Good. Can you spell it for me?
My first name is Joshua, Joshua, and my last name is Song, Song.
Joshua, can you tell me why is it important for you to be here today at this leadership conference?
Why I think it's important for me to be here today is because usually, I don't think I get enough charity experience, and I thought this opportunity was a real, way for me not only to, reach out to other communities and help other people, but also really learn how to do that while, talking with other people with similar ideals, people who also want to make change in the world like I do, and learn how to become a better leader for other people as well, so they also can, invoke change in the world.
Why are you involved in Linens in Love, and what does it mean to you?
Well,
Vivian, could you go shut that door? Yeah, it's loud. It just got real loud.
well, I first got involved.
Wait. Just shut that. I don't want to fight.
Oh, yes, I understand.
Okay, go ahead.
Can I hear the question one more time, please?
Yeah, why are you involved in Linens in Love, and what does it mean to you personally?
Well, I actually first got involved in Linens in Love over the summer when my friend Samantha Howe actually asked me, do you want to be part of the board? And I was interested, and now that I'm part of Linens in Love, I really get to see what it is, and I'd say I'm really glad that I did accept her invitation. Linens in Love to me is a really good way for me to outreach to other people, really see what the outside world looks like and where it needs help, and learn from me, see how I can address these problems, and learn what it takes to really become a leader and really invoke change in the world.
And the fact that you're able to help Linens in Love and be at this leadership council today, what would you like to say to Choice Hotels, who has stepped up and funded this whole day, the whole weekend event?
What I would like to say to Choice Hotels is,
Wait. Okay. Yeah, you can move away from the door. Yeah, go ahead.
I'd really like to say to Choice Hotels that I think you guys are amazing. Giving us this really huge opportunity to discuss leadership ideals and reach out to other communities completely free. I think it's such a great thing to do. I think this is a really good opportunity for a lot of people, and the fact that they're giving us this opportunity to us for free, I think that's just really nice to them, and it really shows that there are a lot of really good people out there who also have similar ideals, and that these people are really, the ones that helped invoke change in the world, the ones who really bring it about.
Okay. Vivian, can you make sure that door stays shut?
No, yeah. I think I'll just make like a public announcement.
Yeah, just,
like no one knows.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to have you do that one more time. That door can.
Okay.
Where I get across?
Very good. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Take care.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
We'll wait until they shut that door.
All right.
Thank you for giving us the opportunity. Thank you so much.
Also, thanks for documenting this and using your time.
Okay. How's that? Yeah, we're always right here. So Joshua, can you tell?
Yeah. They're all walking all the way to the back. So we're constantly in this.
So again, Joshua, express your thanks or your thanks to Choice Hotels for supporting this leadership the leadership luncheon, or actually, what do we call it? Getaway or
All right.
leadership conference, and supporting Linens in Love. Just how much does it mean to you personally that Choice Hotels has stepped up to be socially responsible?
I just want to say to Choice Hotels that I think you guys are awesome, I really am always looking for opportunities to give to other people. It's basically like a thanks for everything that I have. And Choice Hotels giving us the funds and the money and the place to really discuss ideals about charity and learn how to become better leaders. This is such an eye-opening experience for me, and I want to say just thank you so much, Choice Hotels, for giving me, everything that I need to not only give back to the community that has raised me to be the person I am today, but also for helping me learn to become a better leader so I can also, in turn, teach other people how to give back to the community that raised me.
Great. That was excellent. You did.
Many tries in as much time as I
Yes.
want, right? Okay, let's do it.
May, can you tell me, why did your sister and you start Linens in Love?
Yeah. Would you like me to address this facing the camera or talking to you?
To me.
Okay.
And include this question within your answer.
Okay. My sister and I both founded Linens in Love in 2014. When I was younger, I actually grew up in a motel near Disneyland where my dad was managing all the time. And part of that included entertaining ourselves by playing in the breakfast room, making little forts out of blankets, sheets, pillows, and towels. And when we grew older, we realized that these linens that we were playing with are actually meant to be for landfills. So Vivian and I founded Linens in Love together in 2014 to make a difference, to take these blankets, sheets, pillows, and towels that were landfill bound and bring them to places in need, including animal shelters, women's homes, homeless shelters, other places in need that can really, really use them. And so we first created Linens in Love with this mission of taking things that were going to go from waste that are provided by hotels that are perfectly good linens with very slight imperfections to bring them to these different shelters, but also add in an educational component by empowering our students, teaching them how to coordinate these donations and take charge of it for themselves, to be able to choose where they want to bring these to. And that's why we have educational summits such as this one, to empower students and show them how they can be leaders in their own community.
Okay, next question. How important is it that organizations like Choice Hotels International stepped up to support your leadership conference? And how did they step up?
Certainly, it's definitely paramount to have Choice Hotels International step up, especially since they are such a prominent brand chain with over 7,000 hotels nationwide. In doing so, they are taking responsibility for not just the economic aspect or the environmental aspect. Environmentally, they are trying to implement different sustainability programs, but these sort of linens that are being thrown away are not sustainable. So by stepping up and participating as hotels in this program, they're able to cut down on waste. Secondly, they're able to step up by backing us in our financial endeavors through these grants, such as this one with the Choice Hotels grant. It's able to fund these educational aspects that continue our program. And so it is absolutely, absolutely paramount, because they are the groups that are able to help put a stop to this environmental detriment and at the same time put a start to the social impact.
So can you tell me what has Choice Hotel done today for leaders? I mean, today they're giving us a facility, they're helping us with training, they're providing rooms for the young people to stay for the weekend. Tell me what all has Choice Hotels done this weekend to support your leadership conference?
Absolutely. So Choice Hotels has been incredibly supportive of our conference for this leadership summit. So we have over 20 youth participants here. Choice Hotels has provided us with the room, the accommodations to allow our participants to stay overnight, in addition to a conference space. And finally, most importantly, is this grant. This $5,000 impact grant will help our students with transportation for the busing, providing these module experiences and having our speakers come over, keynote speakers, to inspire our students and to provide these different accommodations ranging from a team building exercise that we're going to have tonight to exciting leadership games, to different community service endeavors. So all of this is made possible through the sponsorship, through the support actively throughout, from beginning to end, the programming from Choice Hotels International.
And how important what was it you were doing today, and how is Choice Hotels involved in today's event that we just filmed?
Yeah, so today we created care packages for the homeless. A local community organization had recently had their office broken into and all of their homeless kits were stolen. This is hundreds of dollars worth of bags, toiletries such as shampoos, soaps, travel size amenities like toothbrushes and toothpaste. And we were really excited to share that the Comfort Inn and Suites of Murrieta, a local Choice Hotels, was really excited to step up to the game and really help by providing our students with these bags and these entire kits that are necessary. So today we spent an hour or so having our students get together and have a little holiday excitement, and we packed these different kits and filled them with these homeless essentials that will enable people on the streets to have a less difficult life. We packed over 300 homeless kits, and these were sponsored by Choice Hotels International. And so these homeless kits will be going over to SWAG to help alleviate something that was so detrimental to the community.
Good, I think. Anything else I'm missing, John?
I think that's everything.
I think she did a great job. Let me shut that door. Now the young girl's talking, it's loud. Okay, John, why did Choice Hotels step up to help SWAG today?
Yes. As one of the leading hotel company in US with over 7,000 hotels worldwide, Choice Hotels is always big in all areas of social responsibility. And this is one of the programs that Choice embrace. It's called Your Choice, Your Community. And we use this grant to do a leadership training for Linens and Love. And we also take this opportunity to help out the group SWAG.
And how important is it that Choice Hotels help support young leaders like the ones today?
Well, Choice Hotels has many programs that address the future generation. And this program helps the next generation of leadership in understanding the difference between being a social enterprise and being a nonprofit. And we are hoping that with all the program, by the end of the program, we're hoping that the kids will start to think about something that's worth doing on their own, and that's going to make this whole world, the whole community, a better one.
And I'm going to just put a thing in there for women. So, how important is it for Choice Hotels to help young women in their leadership?
One more open the door, I see it. All right, thanks.
Hello.
Fine.
It's only cable.
So John, how important is it that Choice Hotels is supporting young women in leadership roles like Linen and Love?
But by offering the grant through Your Community, Your Choice, the grant allows the young woman of the next generation to come to an event like this, learn to be a leader, and then learn to drive the cause that they believe in.
Can you tell me just briefly, what is today's event about? What is the leadership event about?
Today's leadership is organized by Linens and Love. The whole idea is to gather leaders in high school, in different high schools, and come into one room and understand what kind of role they would like to take in terms of getting involved in the nonprofit organizations or in the Linens Love as one. Yeah.
Great. Is there anything else I'm missing that you think you need to talk about?
Okay, I want to talk about Linens and Love. Okay. Linens and Love is an organization that not only repurpose the used linens that my hotel has and all the surpluses, they also take the opportunity to conduct tours of the recipient organizations. And the thing I like about this most is that by doing a tour, the young leaders of the future, they have a chance to understand what the problem that the society is facing, and they also are looking at solutions as well. So I really embrace the concept that Lenience and Love is based on. Oh gosh.
No, that was good.
Yeah.
Let's do it
Okay.
one more time. It's just, you
Okay.
went right to the very end. So,
Okay. So one thing I really admire the young leaders of Lenience and Love is that the organization not only repurpose the. All right, go ahead.
You guys can edit that out, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Ready?
So, one aspect about the Lenience and Love that really embrace is that not only that organizations take advantage of the used lenience that's otherwise going to go to trash, they repurpose them with a minimum carbon footprint in terms of delivery. In addition, their tour of the facilities that they donate the items to really inspire me in the sense that the young generations of leaders, they have a chance to look at what that organization is all about, understand what the problem they are trying to take care, and then perhaps in the future they will become one of the problem solver of many things that's happening in our society.
Great.
Yeah.
Good job.
Thank you.
Aaron, can you tell me just a little bit about your organization and what it is SWAG does?
Absolutely. So I work for.
You want to look at me?
Okay, so I work for Social Work Action Group. We're primarily a street outreach organization to the chronically homeless population. You know, there's a lot of different types of homeless people. If you're couch surfing, if you're in college living with somebody or family members, that's considered homeless in many circles. But we deal with the people on the streets, the people that are deep in their mental health issue and addiction. You know, and that person is completely different than somebody who's couch surfing. So many of us worked in city government that dealt with homelessness, and we were, you know, when you have one term that's so broad, you know, we saw the people that are at risk or couch surfing. You know, those are people that really don't have anything wrong with them. You know, they maybe if they're looking for rental assistance. Either way, that's somebody who can advocate for themselves, you know, is pleasant, you know, would say, hey, you know what, I would like to have what you're offering. How do I get that? Or how can I get some help? Versus somebody who's on the streets, again, who's got a mental health issue and on a substance, you know, somebody who doesn't want help. And so that's really what our target population is. We don't ask people, do you want help? You know, if you're living on the street and you're in a bad condition, we are going to assume that you need help, even if you don't know what you need or aren't looking for anything. So that's what our group does. We go to the streets 99% of the time. Our activities are focused on that street population that are causing problems, you know, in many people's eyes, you know, panhandling on the freeway off ramps, living in trash enclosures, abandoned buildings. Again, those people that don't know how to help themselves, that's our target population.
Okay, I'm going to have you do it one more time because I got to keep this video short.
Okay.
So just don't talk about the couch people. Then
Okay.
Just talk about your target market.
Okay.
So can you tell me who does SWAG actually serve?
SWAG goes after those people that are living on the streets that don't know how to help themselves, people that are living with a serious mental health issue and quite often coupled with substance abuse, heroin, methamphetamines.
And how important is it that an organization like Lenience and Love took the time and effort to help you today by giving you kits, blankets, and sheets? How important is an organization like Lenience and Love?
What was given to us today by Lenience and Love is extremely important because quite often the people on the streets that we target, you know, they're out there, they survive off of panhandling money, which is just keeping them in their addiction. Whereas these kits are a tool that we use every day. You know, when we come up across somebody, you know, it's a quick relationship building exercise, and there's something that happens when you offer somebody something, and you can say, hey man, you know, don't you, you know, you could use this deodorant. You know, it's something these individuals will want to take, but it doesn't lead towards more addiction. You know, it helps open up the conversation. As corny as it sounds, you know, a toothbrush, deodorant gives somebody a little bit more dignity, you know, because somebody knows if they're smell. Somebody knows if they haven't taken a shower in a month. So it's hugely important in what we do.
And taking a step back, the support you received today from Choice Hotels International, the check and their support for your organization, how important, a similar question to talking just about Choice Hotels. How important was today's event for you from Choice Hotels?
I mean, it's hugely important.
If you can put Choice Hotels.
Okay. The support from Choice Hotels was extremely important to what we do. You know, we're a nonprofit organization. We don't bring in a whole lot of money, but in what we do, we need funds that aren't restricted to any one thing because we're dealing with human beings that need, you never know, you can't pre-describe what somebody needs to help them get off the street. It could be a night in a motel to prep them for treatment. It could be a couple of nights in a hotel to prep them for treatment. It could be a bus ticket home to family that will take them in and take care of them. Sometimes it's an outfit, you know, when they're going into treatment and all they have is, you know, soiled clothes. So, you know, that's something we need to have in advance, and these funds help us do that, not reactively, because people will literally say, never mind, I don't want what you're offering because look at me, you know, I'm dirty, I'm stinky, you know, so this is something that's hugely important for us. We could do it on the fly as we're getting somebody connected to the help they need.
And what would you say right now to thank the owners of Choice Hotels International in supporting? How would you want to thank them?
We are very much we're very thankful to Choice Hotels and the owners, what they did. You know, this is a for-profit organization that works hard to gain money, and they're taking their hard earnings, their hard work, and translating it into helping those that are most in need, people that can't help themselves, and so we very much appreciate that.
Okay, let me see. I've got two more questions.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you two more questions. Can you tell me what prompted today's action, the theft in your facility? Can you tell me what I'm looking for is, we just had a tremendous thing happen to our organization, and Choice Hotels immediately stepped up and supported us.
Awesome. Okay. You know, with the recent break-in and theft of the supplies we use.
They don't know there was a recent break.
Okay. Okay.
So you say we were